What up, everybody, and welcome back to the Gritty Knows Best podcast. Make sure you sit back, relax, get comfortable, get your favorite snack and drink. Enjoy this episode.
Enjoy. Boom. There you go. Make sure you get your favorite blanket too. You
Oh
gotta
yeah,
get your favorite blanket. Do not forget your favorite blanket. Listen, we got a lot of fun things to talk about on this episode, okay? We're going to talk about an absolutely insane WWE scam scandal, okay? We're going to be starting the show off with that. We're also going to be talking about a lot of current events. We're going to talk about some movie stuff. I watched Smile 2. We're going to talk about that. And at the end of the show, we're going to review what October was like because we put a bunch of content out for October. So we're going to get into that. Joining me, we got none other than Roddy and Lenny. Wow.
what up?
Love these guys. Absolutely love these guys. Listen. We love a good scam on this show. You know what I mean? The only people I don't respect are people that scam their friends. I don't like that. But and their fans. You know, you ever see celebrities, they scam their fans like with crypto? I don't like that at all, and those people are scum of the earth. But I respect, what I do respect in this world is somebody scamming a good mark of age. You know, you shouldn't scam kids. You shouldn't scam your friends. But if, you know, you scam Roddy, he deserves it, right?
Yeah, if you're dumb enough to fall for it at this age.
We also love WWE. We love WWE on the show. Okay, so I have the perfect article for us to read. We are going to hear it right now from Roddy's beautiful voice. Please take it away, this insane article.
Elderly man scammed out of nearly $1 million by Alexa Bliss impersonator. Alfred Mancinelli thought he was in a relationship with Alexa Bliss and was scammed out of nearly $1 million. Tara Siegel Bernard of the New York Times has a feature article on an Alexa Bliss scammer taking advantage of a 79-year-old man, conning him into believing he was in a relationship with Lexi for years. And it says Alfred's involvement in scams dated back to 2018, but worsened during the isolating days of the pandemic. By the spring of 2021, his once $900,000 nest egg had dropped to $128,000. Mr. Mancinelli estimates that most of his father's money went to one or more of Alexa Bliss imposters. Her persona is frequently used in scams and what seem to be a satellite of associates. His chat messages with the sham Alexa read like a soap opera. There were the battles with his son, whom he disowned after Mr. Mancinelli tried to safeguard his money. Other evil meddlers tried to spoil their relationship. And ongoing references.
Let's stop right there. The guy disowned his son because his boy was trying to put him up on the scam. And it also says that he sued his son, right?
Yeah, I believe that's
he sued his own son because he was like, yo, Pops, bro, that is not Alexa Bliss. You're bugging out. And he's like, nah, this is my wife, bro. This is my girl. Giving her all my money. And I don't know if it's in that article, but he also spent his granddaughter's college fund on that. Wasted it on Alexa Bliss in person.
How she was getting the money. The Alexa impersonator often claimed to be hospitalized for bad menstrual periods and would plead with Alfred to send money so the hospital could begin treating her. Tell me, how much do you have left, baby? The imposter said in a chat. Oh, shit.
Imagine. Like the thought, this is what I'm saying. Imagine the thought process of a grown man not realizing that Alexa Bliss is clocking in hundreds of $1,000s a year, and she can't pay for her medical bills for her period cramps. I would have told her, you better go to CVS and get some fucking cranberry juice and chocolate and call me tomorrow. Get the hell out of here, bro. What the hell? We gotta hit this.
Now you know you're retarded.
Go ahead, Roddy.
First of all, if I never seen you face to face, I'm not giving you money.
If I never seen you face to face, I'm not giving you money. I mean, truer words have never been spoken. True words have never been spoken on the show. Really? Wow. Go ahead. Continue. It's almost over. The article's almost over.
I think that's about it. Alfred passed away after failing to recover from neck surgery. So and it just says Alexa Bliss is married to Ryan Cabrera. The two welcomed their first child in November 2023.
What I ascertained from this article, right? Here's what I got. I think this is a win-win for everybody, truly, right? So the scammer got hundreds of thousands of dollars off this old mark. And the guy died without knowing it was a scam. So in his mind, he had this whole relationship and it was real to him. I
He
would
died
say this
happy.
man died happy and in peace, right? How is this bad?
He lived a good full life thinking he was in a relationship, you know?
Well, Alexa Bliss is nothing to sneeze at. If you ever seen her, I'll put a picture of Alexa Bliss on the screen, but hey, I'd die happy if I was dating Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what, like, the mindset to never ask for proof? You know what I mean?
And that's
At
the
all.
thing, man. Reality is only what you perceive it to be. It's your own reality.
Look at
our
fucking-
reality. He's reading this article. His reality was he was in a relationship.
Look at Socrates over here, dropping straight psychological gems. Perception is reality. Okay.
Yeah.
Perception is reality. Well, you know what the reality is, okay? The reality is that a lot of people love feet. A lot of guys out there are big dog hounds. Are you guys feet guys, Leonard and
Hell no.
hell no. You don't like
That's
the
a
feet.
big no, huh?
Wow, not a no, a hell no. What about you, Roderick?
I always say no, but then I always end up sucking toes. So you know.
Is now? Let me ask you this: is it because the woman is like there's certain women that you will have to like break that for? Like they're worthy of the toe suck?
I think like because some feet guys they don't care what the foot is like. It can be all gross and shit, and they just like all
really?
feet. And I'm very like I remember the instant that this happened, that this started was when I was taking the SAT or the ACT, whatever it was in high school. And I got super distracted by the girl that was sitting kind of behind me. And I was supposed to be looking down at my paper, but all I could do was look at her shiny toes. And so ever since then, it was like, well, when their toes are all pretty like that, like, fuck, you got to suck on them. And then she gives you a little foot job.
Yeah, I never got a foot job. I don't want a foot job. Does not sound appealing. Does not sound enticing. And neither does it sound that way to Leonard, I'm assuming, right?
Hell no.
Well, another WWE story, very interesting. Man reportedly kicked out of hotel twice for taking pictures of NXT. NXT is a brand of WWE, of NXT women's feet. Okay, so basically they caught this guy, where was it? In St. Louis, Missouri. And he was just basically taking pictures of the women's feet in the locker room. There was a fan incident in the NXT hotel last night. We are told that a male has allegedly been caught trying to take pictures of feet of the female talent as they made their way through the hotel and was ejected not once but twice from the location. How down bad do you gotta be to do some shit like this? Damn, bro. Like, I
Real
mean,
bad.
Google exists. But you know what? I can understand the allure, and here's what I think is going on. Now, let me tell you this. I follow NXT now because NXT got some baddies on there. We're going to be real honest. Probably the best looking like women in wrestling right now. And I think the thing about this is what's so enchanting about this is they wear boots, right? So a guy that's into feet, he's probably thinking, damn, like, I wonder what they look like. Like, I gotta see a feet. I gotta see. So he probably is like itching. He's like, he can't wait. He gotta see this. So it's like the thrill, the mystery is what I'm getting at. It's gotta be the mystery. So he couldn't help himself. He's like, I'm gonna wait in the lobby to see one of these broads walk in with some sandals, and I'm taking a few pics. I say that, but I will finish off with that saying that may be one of the most down bad things I've ever heard of in my life. And it's like, what the hell is wrong with you, my man? You need assistance.
Please
You
seek
need
therapy. Medical insurance covers it.
Please.
It's free.
You're really stepping over the line by taking pics of the feet, my man. You know, the outfits they already are pretty satisfying to the male gaze. They're pretty revealing, my man. Like, chill out. You need to splash some cold water on your face and go on feetpics.com, jerk off, and take a rest, pal. You're getting too crazy. You're getting too crazy.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, though. Like you said, it's like the one part that's like super covered up, so it's enticing. But yeah, like, see, that's like I've never jerked off to feet pics. That doesn't turn me on.
No,
Like a foot here and there in the flesh might do it for me, but a picture,
not for you.
yeah, no. For
I'm
me.
straight gummy if I ever see fit. Somebody sucking toes.
You're straight what?
Gummy.
What?
Limp mode.
Oh, you're
I thought
going
you said
soft.
coming.
You're going soft, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I thought you said you were coming. I was like, I thought you didn't
okay.
like that shit.
Okay. let's talk about the Vatican for a second, okay? So the Vatican decided to bring in the younger demographic, that they were going to create an anime character to entice the children for this like festival that they were doing. And I'll put a picture of it right now. They came up with this anime character called Loose. Now here's it for you guys right here, so you can see what it looks like. And obviously, this was met with a lot of.
That's pretty cute.
It's pretty cute, right? It's pretty nice, you know? I mean, when you hear the name Luce, you already think like, oh, is it Lucifer? Like, what's going on? But apparently it just means light in Italian, you know? Hey, Luce, whatever. Yeah. So this obviously met with a big mixed reaction, okay? Some people love it. Some people are not big fans of it, okay? I got some reactions here that I could read. This gentleman said, once the church inspired the young with noble models like Saint Dominic Savio and his motto, death rather than sin. Now we have whatever the hell loose is. Infantilizing the young with dumbed down versions of Catholicism does them a disservice. Then you got this guy saying, Catholicism does not need a mascot. We have a cross. Modernism is among many things we agent of demoralization and an agent of demoralization. It seeks to humiliate, diminish, and shame. Do not let this succeed. Choose greatness. I think that this is a little bit of a overreaction for a fucking cartoon. Am I wrong?
Yeah, y'all doing too much. It's just a fucking cartoon. Relax.
This reminds me a lot of the Buddy Christ in Dogma. Remember that?
Yeah. When he's putting his like thumb up or whatever.
Yeah, he's the Christ that's going like that. That was and it's the exact same thing. He says it's supposed to be more uplifting than the cross. It's just depressing. He says and all that.
Right. This is
so. It's like this is what it's turning into.
You got to respect the Vatican for taking some initiative. They're trying to be current, and that's what I like about the current regime is that they try to stay current. You know, the Pope is on Twitter. You know, maybe he says some outlandish things that you don't agree with, but hey, every public figure does that. He's taking pics of big booties on IG. Yeah. I mean, the guy's a current. He's with the times. And if I want
I heard he was taking pictures of nuns' feet.
Yeah. That's what I heard, too. And you know what? They didn't kick him out for that because he's the Pope. He can do whatever he wants.
He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
The Pope can do whatever the
he
fuck
can spend as much as he wants.
Yeah. Like, as long as he's not molesting children, I'm all for the nuns.
I always say this when it comes to the Catholic Church. Whenever there's an uproar, you always just think, there's definitely been bigger scandals. Okay,
yeah, like at least it's not children.
Let's always weigh the Catholic Church with, there's always been worse. Okay, yeah. I think there's worse that we could look into. Okay,
yeah.
I think it's truly, without being facetious, I think it's a nice little thing that they did. It's just like, okay, it's not an evil thing to do to try to gain the younger demographic by meeting them where they are. That's what every good company, if you want to call it like that, or organization, I should say, should do. Is that the times change, minds change. The younger demographic is into different things. And if they want to meet them where they are, that's a good indication that they're doing the right thing. So get off their damn dick.
Yeah.
For real.
Get them young. You got to get them young. That's like the cigarette companies, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Get them on the Marlboros early. Come on.
Don't smoke, kids. Smoke weed. It's a lot better, and you live.
No, don't smoke weed when you're a kid because you could unlock schizophrenia. I'm not even joking about that. Like, definitely wait till you're like 25 to do that because I learned that early that if you smoke weed too young, you can unlock mental disorders. So let's not do that, actually. And that's a fact, Jack.
Smoke cigarettes from the time you're 13 until you're like 25.
Smoke cigarettes. They don't do nothing.
And then after that, you get into the marijuana.
Yeah, because let me tell you what. If you smoke cigarettes, you look super cool.
Hell yeah.
Look at my shirt. This is a cigarette shirt. Look at that. You like that?
Yeah, it's pretty badass. Look at that.
Pretty cool. Yeah. Pretty cool. We're going to talk about cigarettes later on in the episode, so stay tuned if you're a cig head. But one thing I'm addicted to, okay, is, or I was at one point, and I could be at any second, if I could fall down the rabbit hole, is Starbucks. I've always loved Starbucks, which is crazy because I really don't like their coffee like that. But I like their other drinks. I like their teas and I like their mixed drinks. And what I also love about Starbucks is There was at one point where they were the hottest thing in town, and they started to go through a real decline, and they really fell out of favor with the populace. And Howard Schultz stepped back in, and he brought the company back to prominence, which is in his book Onward, which is one of my favorite books ever. I love that book. I recommend that book to anybody that likes a good business story. Read Onward, about how Howard Schultz brought back Starbucks to a good place in the public. Well, it's happening again. Starbucks has been on the decline for a long time due to multiple reasons. And Starbucks has now hired, I believe it was Chipotle's ex-CEO, and now he is implementing some new things and some old things to rebrand, to rejuvenate Starbucks. And I'm very proud of this. I love to hear this. So these are some of the things that he's going to do. The number one thing they're going to bring, well, not the number one, but one of the things they're going to bring back is, you know how Starbucks used to write on people's cups and write the name and put a little heart and put a little, put a penis or some shit like that? They're going to bring that back. They're going to bring back the homey, small coffee shop feeling of Starbucks. They're also going to do that with the layout and how the shops operate. They say that there's these Starbucks shops that are very on the go, on the run with not a lot of seating. They're about to make that obsolete. They're going to make these establishments more comfortable for the consumer. You got to respect that. Another thing they're going to do is they're going to cut down on the complex menu. They say they do a lot of things, but they don't do everything well. And that's something you got to respect, because simplicity, my friends, is truly an art. And I know that, and that's another book that I do recommend, is Insanely Simple, a very, very good business book about how Apple implements simplicity to make their products the best in the world, which they are when they're not being dickheads. So another good business book to read, truly. So I'm very happy to hear that Starbucks is implementing all these new things. They're trying to do a couple more. They're making the cafes more personal, as I said. They're bringing back condiment bars where you can get your own sugar and get your own whatever. They're going to be staffing the Starbucks more. I think that's very noble of them, and I love when a company can notice their mistakes. And one mistake they made, and they're going to change, is they are killing off the olive oil coffee that they made. And I didn't even know.
God, that shit's disgusting.
I didn't even know that was still around. Did you try that, Leonard?
No, but I've seen it, and I've seen it. It looks disgusting.
I had no idea that this was still around, because one of my favorite articles that I've read in the last 10 years is how Starbucks created this olive oil concoction and didn't realize that it would cause people to shit themselves, because coffee is a diuretic and olive oil also lubes up the intestines.
Yeah.
So there was a whole article like a year or two ago about how everybody was just shitting themselves by drinking, because people drink shots of olive oil. That's fine. But to drink a bunch of it mixed with the coffee is just totally another thing. You know what I mean? I didn't even know that was still around, and I'm mad because I would have tried it. I didn't even know it was still a thing.
I never even heard about it until now, but that's the first thing I thought. I'm like, olive oil and coffee? You just shit yourself. Because I remember we get olive oil. If we were constipated, that was one of the remedies. Take a shot of olive oil and hope for the best.
Them toys have a fucking restraining order on everybody that drinks that.
Yeah, they said the bathrooms were pretty packed. When that was going down. So they will be removing that as well, which hopefully I can get one before they remove it. I probably won't make it in time. I'm going to see if they have it tomorrow at the Starbucks by me. So another big company that we have to talk about is Walmart. Now, there was a 19-year-old woman who was sadly burned to death inside of the oven in a Canadian Walmart. I think her name was Jasimran, if I'm not wrong. Hopefully I got that right. But, a very, very sad, tragic story, because she was also found by her mother, who was a Walmart employee. Okay, she apparently got into the oven and burned herself alive. Very tragic, but here's where it gets even crazier, is that a video has been released, which I will show you right now, of a few Walmart employees showing you how hard it is to actually get stuck in one of those ovens. And I'm going to show you that video right now.
These ovens are so hard to shut from the outside. You have to push them. show you. See that? Say you swing it open too hard when you get something out of the oven. Let's see what happens. There is no way that this girl locked herself into one of these ovens while cleaning it. No way possible. I'm going to show you the emergency button. It pops the door open. If this door were to close by itself, it doesn't. It doesn't latch. It's designed not to do that.
This is the oven. Not little, not big, just enough to fit, like 3 racks of bread in there. That's the push button that you're supposed to press in case of an emergency. That will release the doorknob. Why was she in there when the oven was on?
Yeah.
Leonard, tell us what you think about that video, man.
That was definitely a homicide.
Definitely homicide?
Definitely a homicide.
Roddy?
Yeah, agreed. And I hadn't even thought of that because I heard this news story and it was terrible and I hadn't even thought of that because I used to work at a beef jerky place for a while and I had like the big ass ovens that are designed like that. They have the button you can usually push yourself out and it is very hard to get them closed. I locked my boss in there once just for fun while it was on. but yeah, I wasn't gonna kill her. Like I let her out. Like when she started pounding on the door, I just let her out. But she could have gotten out. If I would have left, she could have gotten out. I was holding the door, so she would.
Right. She could have hit the emergency. And I highly doubt in this instance that the woman was so panicked she forgot about the emergency button. I don't think that's possible.
No.
How does this happen? And there's got to be cameras there.
That's what I was thinking.
So are there no cameras where this happened? My aunt works in a very similar, she works in a Target version of that. So I got to ask her what she thinks about that. I don't know if they have the same type of oven, but I know she does.
They
like
probably
the baked
do.
goods.
Walmart has it, Target has it too. But they both have to follow safety precautions.
Absolutely horrendous, man. Absolutely horrendous. And it's like they're going to do this big investigation, and I am glued to that. I cannot wait to see what comes of this because how could that have not been a nefarious act? Right? By somebody.
Yeah.
What is there a way, truly, is there a way for that to have been an accident where she did that on herself? Please let me know.
I'd love to know.
Because I don't.
Viewers, if you have comments, either on YouTube, let us know.
I was very saddened when I watched that video because it didn't occur to me either. I mean, it did occur to me, like, how does that happen? But I thought, like, maybe she literally, it shut behind her and then she couldn't get out. But they show you that if she did shut it behind herself, number one, it wouldn't have closed all the way. And if it did, there's the emergency button. So really sad to see that. And my heart goes out to the family because, first of all, the mom had to see that. And who expects that? That's like some Final Destination type shit. Horror movie. It's a horror movie.
And she was what, 19?
19. Whole life ahead of her. Just working at Walmart, living her life. And it seemingly seems like somebody did something. Horrible.
It has to be, because, and that's the thing too, is like, even if you did shove her in there and lock her in, as I said with me and my fucking around with my coworkers, like I leave the door, she could have pushed out. So it's the same thing. Like, did they knock her out first and then throw her in there? Like, why was she not able to get out?
There's got to be footage. There has to be footage of this.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. Insane. You want to hear something else insane before we continue with this current events? I sent you guys a picture. Check out that picture. That was a picture of my hallway last night with this. For those that can't see it right now, I'm putting it on the screen. I walk out of my apartment last night, and I literally see like 2 couches in a garbage bag and like a pair, like just like trash all over my hallway. And it was insane, bro. Like this massive couches outside with this garbage bag. Like, this is my building, bro. Like, this is where I live. This is insane. Like, how did it, when I woke up in the morning, though, it was gone. But listen to this.
Is that
So
next to the elevator?
that's right by the elevator. I don't want to know why those couches are there. I don't want to know. But last night, I was in the middle of a dead sleep, and I wake up to hear a commotion outside. And what was going on was a random man who does not live in my building pulled a knife on the maintenance guy right outside my door. Now, I didn't see it, but I heard everything, right? So the guy, I kind of awoke right before it, which is crazy. It actually didn't wake me up. I woke up before it for some reason, right? And I hear the guy talking to the maintenance guy. He's like, yo, fuck you. Like, get the fuck out of here. And the maintenance guy's like, yo, you don't even live here. Like, fuck you. You don't even, like, get out of here, basically. And the guy's like, make me get out of here. So I'm hearing that, and I go to the door. And then I hear the maintenance guy say, put the knife away. Like, get out of here with that shit, right? And the maintenance guy, bro, first of all, tons of balls. He did not back down at all. He was like, yo, come at me. Come out with the knife. Go ahead. Come at me with the knife, right? And the guy, I can tell he's like, he left. And then he came back and got in his face even more. And the maintenance guy was not backing down at all. And my man was like, yo, like, you know, he hit him with the infamous, yo, suck my dick. And the maintenance guy said, first of all, you don't got a dick, and that's why you don't got no house. And I was like, what a burn. So not only is this guy not intimidated by your knife, he just flamed you mercilessly. And I know that everybody heard that on the floor. Like, I know everybody was like, damn, bro. Like, and I think I know which maintenance guy this is, and he's really cool, really awesome. And even if I wouldn't even want to film it and put it out there, because I wouldn't even want to put him, like, you know, put it out there like that. So, but I did hear it, and it was fucking crazy. The guy ended up walking away, and my man was just held his ground, bro. Held his ground. My building's insane, dude. They've pulled knives on the maintenance guys before, and nothing has happened. They've just let them back into the building. When I came back from vacation, though, you all know I went on vacation to Salem, and I went to New York. When I went to New York and North Carolina, I come back, and I see this guy by the mailbox who I'm friendly with, and he said, yo, you know, I'm going to send you guys this picture too. And I'll put it on the screen as I talk about this. But he was like, yo, you know, they ripped the door off of the washing machine. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, they must have wanted scrap metal. I have never heard of anything, and you guys know my laundry room is infamous on this show. If you're a fan of the show, you know all the crazy shit, people doing crack in the laundry room, people prostituting themselves in the laundry room on camera, people climbing through the windows when I was there asking for a cigarette, people laid out, and now the newest development is a door was ripped off of one of the washer machines, perceivably for scrap metal, which is honestly
That's
kind
a
of...
small piece of scrap metal, isn't it?
It is, which I was going to say that. Most of it's plastic.
Yeah.
There are, which is the dumbest thing, because there's top loaders right next to it, which are all metal doors.
Big metal square.
Why would you not rip the top loader off if you wanted metal, my shmai?
I see why you don't have nice things in your building.
Now you know you're retarded.
Why would you, like...
Even looking at the picture, I was looking at the bottom part of that. You can tell, you can pull that out. That's probably like to repair, maybe. Yeah, because this washer, huh? So it's not a filter. But I'm sure you could tear that off too, and that's a big old hunk of metal.
Insane. That's my building, though. Gotta love it. You gotta love it. Speaking of loving things, I, as a child, loved the Wayans Brothers Scary Movie 1 and 2. Are you guys a fan of those movies?
I don't think I've seen them.
You've never seen them, Leonard?
No.
Really? First of all, you're bugging. You gotta watch 1 and 2. What about you, Roddy?
I've seen I think it was a haunting something.
Oh, the Haunted House movie?
Yeah, when the girl like turn it up, when you say, I bet you won't look back at it, and her whole head turned around.
Yeah. He's fucking the doll.
Yeah, shit like that. Yeah.
What do you think about the Scary Movie series, or the first two that were produced by the Wayans brothers?
The first two are great. You know, it's funny though. Everybody loves the first two. My favorite is the third one, which was without them.
The third one was a banger.
I think it was just because like that was the only one I watched at the movies and shit. Like, so it was just always close to my heart. We actually recently rewatched that. I watched that with my kids. They had a big old laugh when Queen Latifah just shits herself on the chair. She says it's the chair.
Or when the Klan hoodie goes up. That's always my favorite one.
Oh shit, that shit was dope too. Yeah,
that's always my favorite one. Well, everybody can rejoice because it from what it looks like, I've seen articles and everything, the Wayans Bros are back in the Scary Movie franchise. Because if you don't know, there was some discrepancy with the Wayans Bros, I guess, contracts, and they ended up leaving after the second one, and the Scary Movies pretty much were on a downward spiral ever since then. The third was good. The fourth, I think, was whatever, and it just got progressively worse.
Just the worst.
So I think everybody is happy to hear. And let me tell you, I truly hope that the lines will be around the block, because this is a big deal to me. Like, this is something I want to go see opening day. You know, especially with there's so many years have passed with so many new franchises and horror movies that are there to goof on. My only hope is that this is not going to be a woke production. That they don't somehow, that the Wayans Bros don't somehow come back and they have a mindset of like, we need to go with today's current climate of comedy, and this is a total bomb. That's the only thing I'm worried about. Is I don't know where they're headed.
Dangerous, because a lot of the jokes in those movies that make them so funny are like borderline or nowadays not unacceptable.
Oh, nowadays, no, forget it. So if they do come with this new mindset, this could end up being tragic, and it's something you wish didn't happen. Hopefully, that's not the case, though. Only time will tell.
Yeah, I guess
Only
we'll
time
see.
will tell. I have been absolutely dying to see the new movie Smile 2. I was a fan of Smile 1, and I got to see Smile 2 literally last night. I just, on the spur of the moment, I said, let me go see it. I'm not going to give any major spoilers, and I'm not going to talk about it long. Some light spoilers here. Smile 2 was an absolute banger, okay? And probably my favorite over the two. I loved the way this movie ended. I didn't expect it, although I'm sure a lot of people did. My friend AJ, shout out to him. He said he saw it coming from a mile away. I didn't. I don't really think during movies. I just kind of let them happen. The ending was phenomenal. The movie was phenomenal because this movie does jump scares effectively, okay? The most effective jump scare, I'm not going to give out what it is, but for those that know, it's the train light and the train sound. You're not going to even know where it is if you've never seen it, okay? Best jump scare I've seen in a long time. And what makes this movie so effective and the jump scares so effective is that you don't see them coming. Because how many times we watched a horror movie, right, where the music is escalating, they're walking somewhere, they're looking at something, and you know the jump scare is going to happen, right? I mean, am I wrong?
No.
You can smell them coming from a mile away. You know, the guy's looking around, and you could see it. These jump scares, bro, like it's like literally somebody's walking, somebody's like, folding laundry, and then bam, like just something just comes out of nowhere, just boom. And there's like at least two of them that legitimately made me like jump out of my seat. The train light, and there was another, and I was like, whoa, because there was no preparation, zero preparation. Two phenomenal scenes. If you've seen them, you know the presentation scene that ended in total chaos was phenomenal. The everybody being in her apartment scene was incredible. I think the actress that starred in this movie was awesome. I think the story was great about how the demon is following this pop star, and she has to struggle with addiction and struggle with getting her life together while this demonic entity is after her. And the score was great, and as I said, it couldn't have ended any better. You have to see Smile 2. And even if you've never seen Smile 1, you can watch Smile 2 and go back. The thing about it is the beginning of Smile 2 it's right after the first one. So you'll kind of be like, who's this man and why is this happening? So you should kind of maybe see Smile 1, but you don't really have to after that. Like after that, it doesn't really connect. The first scene is phenomenal. Absolute banger. Go see Smile 2. I'm very excited for this new horror movie called Heart Eyes because it is a Valentine's Day inspired horror movie. This guy in a mask, he's a killer, he has heart eyes, and he's butchering people, he's slaughtering people. I'm not sure exactly when this is going to come out. Let me see right now. The trailer for Heart Eyes has dropped. It's like more of a teaser trailer. So there's not a lot of information, but you do see some kills. One with one with this bar or something like that, where he kills one of the people. He puts the sword or whatever the fuck in this woman's mouth, and then kills a guy by putting his head on the opposite end. Absolute banger. Comes out February 7th, 2025. I am absolutely excited for a Valentine's Day horror movie. One of my favorite slashers is Valentine. If anybody's seen that, where the guy with the Cupid mask is killing Denise Richards and all these other people. If you've never seen Valentine, make sure you see it. It's a very 2000s slasher movie. So go see the trailer for Hard Eyes. I don't want to play it now because I feel like they can be very weird with playing trailers on podcasts and stuff, and they're gonna hit me with the copyright. So I don't even want to try it. But check out the trailer for Hard Eyes. Now, let's discuss October, okay? We put out a lot of content. I did not expect to put out that much content in October. This October had to be one of the funnest months of the podcast I've had in a long time, if not ever, just because of how everything flowed, man. Like, we went to Salem, we recorded that, we did the episode with Leonard, me, and Clay, where we tried the Galaxy Gas, we talked about the Joker, we had the episode where I interviewed John Kozik from the Ouija Board Museum, we did an episode with Electra Soul, we did the Halloween special, and we did the Devil's Night edition of the show. So I'd like to throw it over to Roddy for a little bit. Please tell us what you remember about the content for the last month, and tell us what you thought about it.
It was good. It's the Electra is always a awesome on the show, and especially when it comes to this kind of stuff. The new ghost story stuff that you guys did, and you replayed a classic ghost story, which I had forgotten about. So it was cool to hear that again. So definitely check out. I think ghost stories have definitely been it's always been like a big part of the Gritty Knows Best October stuff. So that was cool. I like that you're still keeping up with that. The one you did with the stuff you did, like the one where Leonard was on, where you guys tasted the Burger King stuff.
Yeah.
That one was good too.
Too bad the audio was messed up.
And that's what I was going to say. I like that because that was one of those proofs that if you have a good show, I always say that shit, if you have good content, the quality and the quality stuff of the actual audio is suffering. Like, if it's good enough, you're still going to stick around and listen.
Thank you.
Now
let's stop there. What did you make of the Galaxy Gas? Because this is almost like Galaxy Gate. Okay, I tried Galaxy Gas on the show, and for some reason, I cannot tell you how, I could not do the Galaxy Gas. Okay, like I literally could not breathe in Galaxy Gas.
Now you know you're retarded.
Which is, for those that don't know, not helium, nitrous. It's a can of nitrous oxide that gets you high, that all the kids are doing. It's in different flavors. I mean, it's in this big, obnoxious clown-sized can. Okay, and they're bringing it into schools. Kids are doing it. It's all the rage. I mean, I got onto nitrous knowing about it when I used to watch old Steve-O videos, because he used to do little whippets. So this nitrous oxide, makes you feel good, and it's all over. You could buy it like at Walmart, which is why we talked about it, because we were like, how are you able to just get your hands on this? And now it's literally marketed to children, and this is people are letting this happen. So we just showed how easy it was to get it and what it was like. And bro, Clay thought I was lying, that I just wasn't doing it right.
Well, that's what I was going to bring up is that I was not too surprised that you couldn't do it right, because I was the same way. Like when I was a kid, I could never hit like a pipe with weed in it. Like I'd never figure out how to hit it right. So I understand that you might not know how to inhale. The part that really shocked me was that you try to lie about it, and that you did that fake deep voice.
I did, but that's the thing. I did not do a fake voice.
It's very obviously fake, man. Like
I did not try to do that. I
especially
swear,
if you go back and rewatch it,
on
you're fucking faking
everything.
It.
I did not fake that. I swear on everything. I did not fake that.
I think you realize you failed at it, and you're like, I'm gonna fucking fool these guys, and just hopefully we'll just brush past it. And he called your shit out on that.
No way. I'm gonna stand on this right now. If it was subconscious, then I don't know about it. I would never do that. I would not do that, because that's like saying like, oh, do you not want to feel great right now? Like, do you not want to feel high? Like, yeah, no, I don't want to do that. Like, why would I not do that?
Well, I don't think you did that on purpose. I think you just faked the voice when you realized.
Oh, when
you
I
didn't
realized
do it right.
when I
When
couldn't,
you're
but
like,
I
"Oh,
didn't know,
I fucked
like
it up."
I just talked and I didn't know like what was happening. I didn't like I didn't premeditate that voice. I know that nobody's gonna believe me, but I
Well,
did not
Leonard
do
was
that.
there. What did it seem like he was faking it when they were live in person, Leonard?
He was trying. Like I got laugh. He was trying.
When he did the voice, though, did that seem like he was making the voice?
That's a good question. I thought, and I was like, yeah, maybe not. I don't know. I hope not, because that'd be weird.
There's
I
no way
just
for
think
me to convince you guys, but I
You
tell
thought you
you,
could get away with it, and then he called you out on it.
because if I truly, I would have said like, yo, I literally cannot do it. Like I would have not. Because
And I think he would have gotten away with it if he didn't call you out, because I didn't really think about that. But once he called you out on it, I tapped back on it and listened to it again, and I'm like, wait a minute. And so
No.
then, like I do Spotify and I just listen to it. So then when as soon as I went on break on work, I went to the YouTube and I'm like, I gotta watch this, and it looks like you're straight up faking it.
I did not fake it. I'm gonna die on this hill. I did not fake the voice. Whatever came out of my mouth, I did not fake. That was the voice that was given to me after I inhaled whatever was in that can, or tried to inhale whatever was in that can. I did not manipulate my voice in any way, shape, or form. And now this is like one of the biggest scandals on the show. This is officially Galaxy Gate. Some people believe I was faking. Some people believe I was trying and I legitimately could not do it. Like some people think I was faking in the terms of that I could do it, but I just didn't want to do it. Which why would I do that? What, like somebody brought up brought up like, why would you bring up that on the show if you're not going to do it? Yeah, why would I do that?
I saw that comment.
Why?
And yeah, that's why I don't think that was the case.
I told Clay,
Because
dude,
if you didn't want to do it, you just wouldn't even brought it up on the show at all.
When they gave me the pepper for Christmas, I said, "Fuck you, I'm not doing this."
Yeah.
I said, I'm not doing it. I got a show to run. I'm not going to take a pepper right now. Why would I do that? Like, I brought it up to Clay the day before. I said, yo, how easy is it for us to get Galaxy Gas? We should get it for the show. And then he was like, all right, let's go get it. Like, I would have just edited it out if I felt like, oh, it's a bad segment, or like, there's just no reason for me to do that and leave it in if I didn't want to do it, basically. Like, if I was pressured into doing it, let's say, I would have just edited it out later. It's like, I'm not putting that out like it's embarrassing. I have no problem making a fool of myself because I couldn't do something, but I would not do it wrong on purpose. You know what I mean? Because I don't have to.
Yeah, I think you did it wrong, genuinely wrong, and then you fake the voice. How come, Leonard? How come you didn't do the illegal drugs?
Because I have somewhat of a smarter IQ knowing not to do that.
Dude, if there was one thing I wanted to hear was Leonard's voice on the Galaxy Gas. I would have loved to hear that. Him and Justin, I would love to hear their voice on the Galaxy Gas. Dude, I think we should try this, right? Like I was telling Clay, we need to sell our own version of Galaxy Gas, but where we put enough helium into it to where it makes you sound like Justin. Like we need to make Gritty Knows Gritty Knows Best Gas to where it's still nitrous, but it makes you sound like Justin. So it's our tweak on it. You know what I mean? So hey, what up, everybody? I think that would be sick. It gives you the opposite voice. You know what I mean? We need to manipulate the chemicals and whatever. We'll put some fun stuff on the package because it's just such an obnoxiously big can that I find the whole thing so funny. I find the whole...
That'd be cool. You could put this on the label.
Yeah, put Justin and his little dogs.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
What are you drinking? You got a tea bag in there? I don't think you're a tea guy.
Oh, I am once it starts getting cold because I'm an old man.
Oh.
Drink arnica tea for my swollen knee.
What about hot chocolate?
I like that.
I do sugar free.
Sugar free?
Yeah.
Leonard, you got sugar issues, man. You gotta. That's why he only had a little bit of that
I was gonna say
shake.
quite the opposite. Like mine's like half marshmallows and then like a squirt of fucking hot chocolate.
I agree. That's me too, bro. I agree. I haven't had a good hot chocolate in a while, but a family friend Jennifer gave me a nice like local hot chocolate from North Carolina, so I can't wait to break that out. Hot chocolate's the best. So anyway, Galaxy Gate is in full effect. You can leave your comment below whether you think I faked it, tried it, didn't try it, blah blah blah. Continue. So you like that episode? We tried the Addams Family Burger King meal. Anything else you want to say about that episode or the subsequent episodes?
I think that's about it. Honestly, I am one. There is one I haven't watched or listened to just because it was impressive how many you put out. To where I'm like, God damn, man, I'm falling behind.
Thank you.
Which is cool, man. That's awesome.
And it just flowed naturally. It truly flowed
Yeah.
naturally.
It's not like you were trying to put all that.
No, it
It
just
just
happened.
happened.
Yeah. Leonard, you and I spoke earlier a little bit about the Devil's Night edition of the show. Please tell us your thoughts on that.
You were fucking insane.
I told you guys that was going to be the darkest, most grotesque episode of Gritty Knows Best in history, and I think we delivered. Did we not?
You sure the fuck did. When I said that shit was dark, it was darker than my ass crack.
And, I do that episode because I know people are into that, right? And I know that some people don't enjoy. I know that some people think true crime could be exploitative. And I can see your perspective on that, right? But my thing is, I don't enjoy movies where people are tortured. I don't like that at all. It makes me feel bad. It makes me feel depressed. I don't like that. But there's something about actual historical events, no matter how dark it is and how horrific it is, that it's still intriguing. You know what I mean? Like, I had to stop a lot of those stories midway through and go to them the next day for how disturbing they were. But there's something intriguing about things that happen in this world. Like, to know how dark the human mind could be is fascinating. Because all three of us sitting here, I would imagine, would never lock somebody up, torture them, beat them, shit on them, right? But to think that somebody has done that and to hear that story, as disturbing as it is still fascinating. And I think people get... Go ahead, sorry, Leonard.
Which is even crazier. One of the guys got free and then molested a child and went back.
Exactly.
Like,
who would have thought?
Like, did you not learn your lesson for like a whole fucking decade?
Exactly. Exactly. So those are not episodes we plan on doing, maybe never again. I don't know. We've definitely done true crime, but that one I wanted to just show you like how dark the world could really be. And I think, like you said, Leonard, we delivered.
I think you should definitely do this again.
Let me tell you, bro. Let me fucking tell you. For 3 days when I was working on that, I was so depressed. Like, yo, dead ass, bro. When I finished finally listening to the Hello Kitty murder for the first time, I had to take a nap. I was like depleted because this shit is so grotesque. This shit is so disturbing that it takes your energy away. You know what I mean? Like, in the episode, I discussed how Clay and I listened to that first with Clay, and we'd never finished it. We stopped it at a point. I come back to it, and I watch another guy discuss it. He stops even reading it. He goes, enough. I can't even read this anymore. You know what I mean? So I had to, like, in pieces, finish this story. And there's also, like, I think, a worse story out there that I don't want to say because maybe we'll talk about it, that I have not finished to this day. That I mean, and there's worse. There's one thing we won't really do. I did it one time with the Candyman, but we never get into the ones with kids. Those ones I don't even want to listen to, truly. Like, the ones with kids that I've seen, like, titles and stuff, and there's one where I remember this family got murdered in a trailer with the kids, and I had to cry after because it was so bad. Those we will never discuss. Those I just don't even want to hear about. But yeah, that episode was really crazy to do because I was just so depressed for the 3 days doing it. You know what I mean? Like, I've done true crime before, but that was the worst. That was the worst of the worst.
I've always wondered that, like, people that do true crime podcasts and that's like week after week, it's like, man, how do you fucking go to sleep? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because that's just fucking wild. And this is coming from me. Like, I always talk about how my love for like the human centipede, but that shit's fiction.
Yeah.
And to think of like these stories that are just as grotesque, but they were like real people happened to real people. It's like, fuck.
Yeah, I think you and I are opposite in that regard, where you can watch a fantasy movie and like realize, oh, this is fantasy, and it's like I can't, I don't know, my brain can't separate it, but I can listen to it just because of how intriguing it is that this is real.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So you enjoyed it, Leonard, though.
I loved it. You know what I mean? I work in EMS and I hear a lot of crazy stories.
Okay,
but that was like one of the craziest stories craziest episodes I've ever heard. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Well, it's not kind of cool, but it's interesting.
It's interesting stuff. You can't deny that. It is interesting. And I just said, listen, we're gonna do this one time. Let's go out. Let's go out. Like if you're a fan of this type of shit, you're gonna like this because we're gonna get dark. We're gonna get wicked. We're gonna get nasty. This is the one night we're gonna do it. Let's fucking go in. And we did that. Any other things you want to say about that month, Leonard?
Well, I mean, I love the electric
Shout out to
soul.
Electra.
She always delivers with like interesting facts. I don't remember everything, ADHD brain, but it's really cool. The guy with the Ouija boards. I hope he has sage in his house. I love that. I love that episode. That was a really interesting. I learned a lot about the Ouija boards. I was never really big into them. Still not, but it was something very knowledgeable to know and learn about the different boards.
Yeah, I forgot about the Ouija boards. That one was badass. I never heard of. I'm surprised I'd never heard of. What was it called? The Ouija board Zilla, or what was it?
The Ouija Zilla, yeah, where they built the world's largest Ouija board in Salem.
Huge, yeah. After that finished, I just went and looked at videos and pictures of that, and it's fucking badass.
Yeah, it was interesting because I came to the episode with the approach that I don't really want to get into Ouija board stories and a lot of the history because that's what they do at the museum. So I don't want to take away from what you can pay to go see, because if you go see it, I don't want to ruin what's already there. So I really wanted to dig in the mind of a collector and what his experience was like collecting this stuff. And I found that more fascinating because it's something you don't really hear about, is somebody collecting these things and what their experience is like. And I think he delivered with an interesting take on that, with the stories he told about him, driving cross country, not even knowing the address of some places to go and hunt these down. I think it was very fascinating.
Yeah, it is. And that's why I liked it too, because everybody's so scared of that shit. And just to think of they're collecting it like other people collect, fucking baseball cards or some shit is like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
It's just an item. To me, they're just items and they're interesting to collect. So, hell yeah.
Right. If you want to hear what our experience was like at the Ouija Board Museum, go to the We Went to Salem, our trip to Salem episode of the show, which I think was a great episode. I think that was a lot of fun. We got into a lot of great aspects of Salem and our experiences. It was a very fun month. How was everybody's Halloween?
I sat my ass in my house.
What about you, Roddy?
About the same. We actually got some trick-or-treaters for the first time in 3 years. So.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard that a lot of neighborhoods have seen a decline in trick-or-treating.
But it's coming back. I saw a lot of complaints, people complain about the trunk or treats being lame as fuck and everything. So I think it's coming back.
Yeah, trunk or treat. I said that one time. My friend said that's the country shit I ever heard of. Some trunk or treat.
It's stupid as hell. And I think there was a lot more kids out from what I hear. Also in my neighborhood, we only got 3 groups of them. But a year ago, it's going on a year that my neighbor's house burnt down. So we're the only house on the block now. So I think that was part of it. We're kind of on the end of town.
Was this the racist neighbor's house burned down?
No, that was over. That was when I lived in the city.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I had a very good Halloween. Trick or treat. Sorry, Leonard. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Good.
We used to have trick or treaters in my apartment complex. Last year, we used to have a lot. But I guess a lot of things have changed. We've gotten a lot of new neighbors. A lot of the families have left those apartments now, and there's a lot. So we don't get them anymore.
Not the same. That's sad to hear.
When you were a kid, in the city, did you guys do trick or treating and shit?
Hell yeah. Because I lived in kind of a neighborhood, not really a city area. I lived kind of in a neighborhood. And I mean, we have it on video that my mom's going to put on DVD. We have a Halloween that we've filmed. And I mean, the block is covered with kids. We were out and about. My favorite picture probably in history is when my mom and I trick-or-treating and she has a cigarette in her hand. It's just such a picture of the time. You know what I mean? I'll put it up right here. I got my Scarecrow outfit. I was Scarecrow from Wizard of Oz, and my mom got the cigarette in her hand. It's just such a beautiful picture, and I love it so much. But when I was a kid, I mean, yeah, you saw your friends. I mean, the street was packed with kids. It was like a fucking parade. And it just totally, as time went on. I remember one year we came back and there was a massive fight on our block. Like we came in and they were just brawling. The kids across the street. I guess some kids from another neighborhood came in. There must have been some issue about a woman or something like that, somebody's girl, and they were just going at it. The cops came, broke it up, cuffed everybody. It was the big Halloween brawl of 2004 or whatever the fuck that rang true. That just rang through people's minds for years and years to come. Yeah, Halloween used to be a big event, man, in my neighborhood. And now, I remember before I moved, I would just think like, this is so desolate compared to what it used to be.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I meant. That's why I'm sad about our neighborhood also, because the same thing when growing up with us. You'd go out I'd go out like my younger brother, a couple of friends, like our little group. We'd bump into other groups. We'd team up with them for a while. We'd split up. We'd meet other kids. It was just the whole town was crawling with kids and groups of kids, and it's just not that way anymore, So.
Yeah. A lot of people have said that. I had a very good Halloween since I was out so much. I decided I was going to stay my ass in the house and try and watch as many movies as I can. I didn't really execute that as well as I would have liked to. I watched a new movie called Time Cut, which is about a woman or a girl that goes back. She's a high school girl that goes back in time to stop the murder of her sister. And she goes back to 2003. And I think it was like a pretty innocuous movie. Like it was like whatever. It was fine. The problem with the movie was that it was almost like a total ripoff of a better movie that came out the year prior called Totally Killer, where the girl goes back in time to stop the death of her mom's friend so that her mom doesn't die like 10 years, 15 years later, right? That was a banger of a movie. Now, you may think to yourself, well, there's plenty of movies that go back in time, and if you're gonna make a horror movie with time travel, why would you not make it where the girl tries to find the killer of her sister or whatever? The problem is you can tell the inspiration was there and that it was very derivative of Totally Killer due to the mask. I'll put pictures up right now of the mask from each movie. It's basically like a blonde, like a guy, like a blonde kind of like Ken guy. And I think that that's where they made the mistake. If they were truly inspired by Totally Killer, they made it a little too obvious. Also, the kills in Time Cut, lame. Absolutely lame. Like a Lifetime original, lame, off-camera bullshit. The only movie I let slide with that is Bring It On, Cheer or Die. I let them slide because that was a great movie. Classic Halloween film. This movie was pretty lame. The actresses were good. Story was good. I enjoyed the ending. Check it out if you want, but Totally Killer's better. So my Halloween was pretty sick. I really enjoyed it, though. I enjoyed hanging out and chilling out and watching a bunch of movies. I watched Skeleton Key. It's an old movie from back in the day, which is a phenomenal movie. If you haven't seen Skeleton Key, it's fucking sick. So check that out. And that was my Halloween. Do you gentlemen have anything you want to say before we get out of here?
You guys know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. You never know. You might find your soulmate inside the comments.
That's
Be
right.
polite to one another.
Be polite.
Get Grady to at least 1K so he can get monetized. If you want to see Grady do some wild shit on here, that's YouTube friendly, of course. So
right. We always toe the line on YouTube. We're doing drugs. We had Mo and Miss J jerking off on the show. What a wild couple months.
Been insane.
Yeah. Roddy, you are a podcast host. Plug your podcast.
Yeah. Well, you know what they say. It ain't gay if it's them, they.
That's right. It ain't gay if it's a they.
Yeah, that's what it is. But go ahead and check us out. Follow me on Roddy Radio on Spotify and YouTube. And of course, all the old shows are there. But definitely, it's really fun to be on this show, especially when we know we toe the line.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure having you. Gentlemen, you guys are the biggest fans of the show. You are our resident super fans, and it was a pleasure. And we'll be back. Oh, next week. Let's talk about next week real quick. Clay and I, on the episode where we talked about the Disney cruise, we talked about a woman named Audrey Silk. I don't know if anybody of you guys remember that. But she is a activist, okay, a civil liberties activist that runs the group Clash. Citizens lobbying against smokers' harassment. And let me tell you what, this woman is a boss. She said, fuck the government. I'm smoking in the park. I'm blowing it in your face. I don't care. She lit it up in the middle of town hall, City Hall, and told Bloomberg, eat that. I'm smoking in City Hall. Do something about it. We talked to her when we went to the city. She let us in the illustrious Screw You Bloomberg Gardens, as she calls it, where she grows her own tobacco. And we talked to her about her activism, what it was like to go toe-to-toe with Bloomberg and tell him to go fuck himself. And we talk about a lot of fun things. We talk about smoking cigs, dude. We sit around. This is what people do. We sat around a table, we smoked cigs, and we chilled the fuck out, and we had a great time. We talked about libs. We talked all kind of crazy shit. So come back next week. This is probably the biggest interview we've ever had, truly.
That sounds like it. Hell yeah.
You know, this is truly...
I want to hear this.
This is truly in the upper echelon of interviews, right up there with Ben Scrivens, with Electrosoul, with our big money guests. This is up there in the Mount Rushmore of Gritty Knows Best interviews, I feel. Okay, This is big.
Thanks for the heads up, too. I'll buy myself some cigarettes and watch that.
Yeah, listen, if you're smoking, blow it down, right? While we're doing it, join us. Come back next week. Big Silk on the show, blowing the smoke in your face. You don't like it? Screw you. Peace and love. See you next time.